G'day guys and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go through the installation of the canopy on this 2015 Mitsubishi Triton MQ. Now there are a lot of brands out there, the ARB, the TJM. They're about the $3,500 to $4,000 range. I've actually gone a little bit cheaper. I've just gone the genuine Mitsubishi brand here. We're going to fit it. We've never actually done one of these before, so follow along with us and we'll see how we go. Alright guys, so what we'll talk about now is just the parts that come with the canopy itself. We've got the, we'll start at the back here. We've just got the header bar for the front of the canopy itself. We've also got the tailgate plate here, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. All your nuts and bolts and your rivets and your washers and all the rest of it, that comes in the back here. We've got our rail clamps in here, and also all of our rubber seals and stuff like that we'll go through a little bit later on. At the back here, just got some alcohol swipes just to keep everything nice and clean, as well as our primer and a rust inhibitor, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, including the rear mount brackets. Over this side here, we just got our vehicle, the canopy harness kit. We'll do the harness at another clip after this one. At the moment, we're just going to go through just installing the canopy itself. Coming over this side here, that's what comes with the canopy. Over here is all the stuff that doesn't come with it, which you will need, and it's just a bit of Loctite, some sealant, and some masking tape as well. And obviously you'll need some spanners and all the rest of it. I'll talk about that a little bit later on though. Apart from that, let's get into it. Before we got going, there was a sports bar that was on this. I wasn't going to bore you with removing it. Basically it's just got your 3 or 4 screws each side, just removing those with a 13mm socket. Took that off. Obviously the rear window here, you're going to have to clean that, clean any stickers or anything like that, because once the tub's in position, or once the canopy's in position, you won't really be able to get to that as well. This one here did have the tonneau cover on it. Basically had to clean all the rubber sealant from the top of the tub liner. And apart from that, make sure that's all nice and Mickey Mouse before we get going. And so that's about it. So what we've done now, we've just taken out the tub liner. Doesn't take much at all. Just took a couple of us to do it. Basically what we're going to do is just trim off a little bit from the front of the tub liner itself. It's about 2 centimeters from the top. So you've got to take that off. We'll also take a little bit off just on the sides of it as well. And once I've finished cutting this, I'll let you know what we've got to do with the next part. Right, so what we've got next is just putting on the tailgate rail. Okay, so putting down the tailgate, we're just going to place a long strip of your masking tape along the top edge of the tailgate itself, and then we're just going to position the tailgate rail. So it's about 28 millimeters from the top edge of the tailgate itself, so about 28 millimeters down. Then we'll position the bottom edge of the tailgate rail along that line. And then we can position exactly where the holes for the tailgate rail are going, and we'll mark those out. So let's do that. Alright, so now that we've got all our holes marked out on the masking tape, I'm just going to use a 5.5mm drill bit and just drill obviously on the marked holes. Alrighty, so now what we've done, we've drilled our holes. Obviously now that we've got exposed metal there, we're just going to put some of that rust inhibitor over the top of those holes, and then we can put our foam tape down as well. we're going to do is secure the front header bar to the inside of the tub itself. Once you've pretty much centralised the bar evenly along the inside of the tub, just going to mark out the 4 holes, which are going to be for the rivets, ensuring that the top of the head bar itself is in line with the top of the tub. Alrighty, once you're happy with the front and rear header bar, go ahead and place the tub liner back in. As you can see, we've just already done the tub liner for the tailgate itself. And now that the front header bar is nice and secured, nice and flush to the top, I'm just going to go ahead and place this tub liner back in. Alright, so now that your tub liner is nicely in position, we're just going to go ahead and install the rear brackets on the back here. You do obviously get 2 brackets. They are marked on there, which one is the left and right one. This one here is obviously the right. You also get the rear rubber brackets as well on both sides. Now before we kick on, obviously you've got to have a torque key to undo these torque bolts as well. We had an absolutely shit time trying to undo these things. We ended up breaking the torque key and rounding pretty much the torque bolt itself. So we had to, both sides, we pretty much had to grind and drill those bolts out. So we're just going to replace those bolts as we go, and we'll see how we go with this next step anyway. So the securing of the rear bracket, with the rear rubber seal here, and obviously the metal bracket as I just went through, you can see that it's got a pre-marked circle there. Basically just got to drill that out or cut that out just so that your bolt can fit in there nicely once it's in position. I did steal this bolt from our sports bar, which I took off earlier. Obviously that's going to be our replacement. Now the rubber seal will go on there first, and as you can see, that's that hole will sit nicely over the bolt hole just there. So that'll sit in there nice and flush, so it's nice on top of the tub itself. And then we just get our middle bracket and position that so both holes are in line. And then I can just stick that bolt straight through there and secure that to the side of the tub. Before we do stick that on, we just got to put a little bit of Loctite on and then secure that with a 13mm socket set. And then once that's in position, there's another little hole there. We just got to get a 5mm drill bit, drill that hole in. Don't go too far, just enough so you can secure the rivet in there. So let's do that. Alright, so now just repeat the process for the other side. Alright guys, now that everything's done and on the right way, we're just going to get the alcohol swabs. So just the alcohol swabs that are provided. Make sure you give the top of the rails here just a thorough clean from any dirt and residue along both sides, left and right, and also just the back or the front railing here. And then after that's all done, and make sure it's all nice and smicko, then we're going to start putting on the tape. Alrighty, now that that's the top rail's all nice and clean clear from all your dust and crap and all the rest of it. We're just going to grab the primer now and just give the top rail just a nice going over with that glue. So they do come in these little packs here. It's only about 6 of a mil. So all we got to do is just open that up, and they come in like a little, I suppose it's like a little xylem stick, where you just have to crack it. If I can, just crack it. That'll release all the glue that was in the sealed tube inside there, and the top here, the white part, will now become just your base where all the glue will come out. So just along the rail here, so all you're going to do is along the inside of the rail on the left and right side, so just a nice long bit of glue around the inside. And when you come to the front part here, just a bit of glue on the inside, so leaving about a 2 centimeter gap, I suppose, from the back edge of that rail. So come in about 2 centimeters, and just where the rubber tape's going to be, just put a nice long strip of glue along there, and again on the other side, just on the inside of the rail. And when we come to the rear rubber seals here for the brackets, just go underneath that bracket, because the rubber seal, the foam seal that we're going to put down, will actually go underneath that as well. Beautiful. So now just allow that to dry just for a little bit, and then once that's nice and dry and a little bit tacky, then we can start putting our rubber seal down, or our foam seal down. This is what it should look like. Again, on the inside of these left and right rails, and just nice and flush to the inside of that front rail as well. And again, make sure you go underneath the flap. Alright guys, now that your foam seal is in place, we're just going to use the silicone here and just silicone up the front of the tub. So just along here, it goes up about 3 centimeters, both sides. So one on the inside and one on the outside of the rubber seal, and also a little bit of beading down the very front edge of the tub itself, and also just a little bit of beaded across the inside of the tub. So I'll do that for this side, the left side, and obviously we'll do the same on the other side. Alright guys, so now that you've got your canopy pretty much central, you're only going to look at it by eyesight, I suppose. Make sure you don't drag the canopy along the those seals, the foam seals that you put down earlier. Make sure it's all nice and central. Get someone to give you a hand while you do it. Now what we're going to do is just screw down these rear brackets here. To do that, we're just going to need probably about a 4mm Allen key for the nut itself, for the bolt itself, a 3mm spacer, and a couple of washers, and also obviously your nut itself. And I'll show you how we do that. And also I've just got a 10mm socket, 10mm spanner as well. Alright, so screwing the canopy down to the rear brackets here. Like I said, I've just got the bolt and the washer here, and I've placed the 3mm spacer just on top of the rear bracket, and in between the rear bracket and the brackets for the canopy itself. So that's in position there. and that's where obviously our bolt's going to go down, straight down there, and we'll screw that up. Right, so now the rear's done, we're just going to do the front header bar. So we've just got to obviously the header bar here, just with the 4 holes. I'm just going to place the bolts downwards and screw up from underneath. Just a washer, the bolts, and then a washer and a nut underneath there. So just loosely do the 4 holes, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so one of the last things we're going to sort of do now is just fitting these clamps that you got here. So you've got about you got 4 clamps you have to fit down, so it's just 2 each side. That's pretty much how they come. So you got obviously the U clamp here, and just a bit of a hole underneath there, and obviously the L clamp, which will go down from the top. And essentially what it's going to look like once it's on is the U clamp will go underneath, so underneath the tub rail here, and clamp down the top of the base rail from the canopy itself. So just going underneath, and the L clamp will go down on top, and just screwing it on from the front here. So I'll give that a crack. All you're going to need is a 13mm socket to screw this in, making sure the teeth are on the inside of the rail. So give that a crack. Around here so you can see, so obviously you can see just obviously the U clamps underneath the tub rail. That's nicely hand tightened there, and then from the top you've got the L clamp that screws down all this base. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. Yeah, honest with you, it wasn't really that hard to do. I've gone around and tightened up all the clamps and all the bolts and all the rest of it just before. It didn't really take that long. Total time was about 2 to 3 hours. You're going to need someone to give you a hand, obviously lifting up the canopy and putting it in position, because you really don't want to slide along that tape, because that tape will just rip up. Let me know what you think. It costs probably about, I know, $400 to $500 just to install it, or to get someone else to install it. There was no way I was going to pay that. I was a bit of a tight ass. So yeah, again, let me know what you think. It looks pretty good. You can see it. I'm not going to stand in the sun. Yeah, again, let me know what you think. Please subscribe. Our next video, we're going to do all the wiring of this whole thing, doing the brakes and doing all the wiring inside. We're also going to put a battery pack in here, and fridge slide, fridge, a couple of drawers and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. Again, just please subscribe and stay tuned for the next clip. G'day guys, and welcome to the... You like that?
You're on, bud.
What was I talking about?